DB?
Yeah. So, who was your toughest opponent, regardless of the outcome, David?
I feel like maybe Anthony Durrell. He was a tough opponent. It just had to give me. I had to adapt, not adapt, but I had to subdue different stuff because he was moving a lot in the fight, the first couple rounds. But once I adapted to that, I started throwing more body shots. I think the key in that fight was using the jab. My power jab I have that split his eye open. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I seen that he was a little bit impaired of his vision, that's why I started going down to the body, started mixing the uppercuts in, and I definitely learned a lot from myself, especially from Anthony Durrell. He was a great fighter too. He only had one loss when I fought him. He's a two-time world champion. And I stopped him. I was 23 years old. No, I was 22 years old. Yeah, I was 22 years old, and I stopped him.
September 19th.
So it was a great victory for me, man. So that was a really good fight.
Yeah, I thought I was at that fight too, and I thought that was actually your toughest fight. You showed some grit and came back, which leads me to the question is, how good is Mr. Durrell, and how do you think he'll do against some of the other top guys that's in the division, like Canelo Alvarez?
I mean, I feel like he'll do good. I mean, especially with Caleb Plant, he knocked Caleb Truax out in the third round. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I feel like he could do pretty good. He'll give all the other fighters a good competition.
Yeah. Is there any fighter that and we have to ask these questions now to fighter these days because are there any fighters that you are not willing to fight for any reason?
I think I'm going to answer that, and then he can answer that. I think all these fighters, my respect to all these fighters, man. Caleb Plant, Canelo, Charlo, all these guys are very dangerous fighters, man. They're good fighters, that's what they're at, where they're at, But, we can't think about that. We can't think about, oh, man, I don't want to fight this guy because I think all these styles are different, man. But that's what I'm trying to say. If you want to do history, let's go, and then we'll see what happens. As long as we give a good fight, we're not thinking about losing. But if you lose and if you do a good fight, people are going to like you, and they're going to give you another opportunity. And all these fighters are tough fights. They're 50-50 in my opinion, I think, but we'll just have to adjust and, prove everybody that David's ready to face all these fighters.
And that's what I like now too. I've been professional almost 8 years. Next year's gonna be 9 years. Uh-huh. I want to get in there with these big names. To know for myself that I am the best. I work hard every single day. Every day I'm in training camp. I push myself to the limit. So I want some excitement. I want to put my record on the line. I want to go against another undefeated fighter. I want to see, how really I want the best to come out of myself. So, to answer your question, I'll fight anybody. It doesn't matter who it is.
Love it.
Yeah, I think one of the ways, because I remember this because I'm a 70s baby. So I remember when Oscar fought Fernando Vargas, and Fernando Vargas he said Oscar was the fake Mexican, and Fernando said, I'm the real Mexican. Remember that? That's what you got to do to Canelo. You got to call him a drug cheat and a fake Mexican. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, that's funny. I was getting ready to ask him, and this is a crazy question because, in the boxing communities or whatever, we hear stuff. So is Canelo more Mexican than you?
He's from Mexico.
Well, I think he doesn't look Mexican though. Maybe he's a fake. Maybe he's a fake. We're gonna find out that maybe he's been saying that he's Mexican 100%. Then we find out he was brought to Mexico when he was little or something from another country. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah, he looked Irish.
Yeah, he does look Irish.
I mean, what? Yeah. David looks more Mexican than him.
I'll say this too, just as a disclaimer. When I interview Caleb Plant as well, he gives off that fearless bravado as well. Like that toughness, that fearless, that he's not afraid, and he's very believable. Like I believe him, and that's why I was kind of disappointed because when I say we talk about this fight at least once a week in the barbershop, man, God, and it pisses us the fuck off, man, and so it just shocks me that it didn't work out. What, and that leads me to my point. It'd be a good idea.